As inflation has stormed into the last half of 2021, consumers have felt the sting of steep price increases on all of our daily purchases. SchoolsFirst Federal Credit Union is the nation's largest educational credit union, and financial advisor Jeremy Hill is here to help explain what inflation is, what causes it, and what consumers can do to protect themselves against price increases that haven't been seen in over 30 years. Welcome, Jeremy.
Thank you for having me, Desiree. Good
Yeah.
morning.
Good morning. So, Jeremy, why is inflation such a hot topic right now?
Yeah, inflation is such a hot topic right now because people are worried and concerned about recent inflationary reports. And that report specifically is a CPI report. And CPI stands for Consumer Price Index. Basically, that measures the cost of goods and services. And we're seeing the cost of goods and services increase while our money is decreasing in value. Now, inflation is a normal part of economic growth. However, the amount of inflation we've seen over the last year is not normal.
And there's no question, we're seeing higher prices everywhere we go. How bad is it?
Well, Desiree, the typical inflation rate is about 2%, and the recent report showed 6.2%. So that is quite a bit higher than average, and it causes some alarm. Now, as you mentioned earlier, that's the highest we've seen in 30 years. We're seeing it at the grocery store with food prices being 5.3% more expensive than last year. And the car dealerships, a new car is going to cost you 10% more. A used car is going to cost you 26% more. Of course, we need gas to fill up those cars. And if you're at the gas pump, gasoline prices have increased almost 50% year over year. So I'm not sure about you, but I've definitely noticed that.
Yeah, I got a new car, noticed the inflation prices, and getting gas, like you said, they are high. So, Jeremy, can you help us understand what is causing this?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of factors, right? Since the pandemic, the economy is coming back and demand is surging and supply is limited. There's worker shortages, supply chain issues. There's even cargo ships off the coast that can't unload their goods. Now, experts do warn it's going to get worse before it gets better. However, the good news is prices should stabilize soon.
Okay, that's good to know. And is there anything we as consumers can do to protect our wallets?
Yeah, I mean, some things are completely out of our control, but other things we can control. So, for instance, you can control your savings. You can control how much you save and what types of accounts you're saving in. Maybe a higher interest bearing account, such as a CD or a money market account, might make sense. We can also control our spending. And basically, that's just having a budget in place, making sure that budget is up to date, and making sure you don't need to make any adjustments. And finally, we can control our investments and we can control what we're invested in. And that's why working with a financial advisor can help you make sure your investments match your objectives, goals, risk tolerance, and even time horizon.
All good stuff to know. And what tips can you give to help people keep up with inflation?
Yeah, I mean, there are many specific solutions out there to keep up with inflation, but I'd like to tell you one way you're almost guaranteed to not keep up with inflation, and that's putting your money under the mattress. Let's say you put $1,000 under the mattress last year and you went today to go check on that. How much money do you have left, Desiree?
Oh, tell me, Jeremy. Tell me.
Well, it's not a trick question. You still have $1,000, all right? However, you can only buy $938 worth of goods and services, okay? To put it a different way, if that money were earmarked to buy a used car, for instance, your purchasing power has declined and you only have 740 to buy that used car. So you can see it's very important to look for ways to grow your money and to retain your purchasing power. Basically, just making sure your money is working for you. And that's why working with a financial advisor, they can give you specific recommendations based on your unique situation to help you address inflation.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to make sure, Jeremy, my money is working for me. Thank you for joining us. And for more financial tips, visit schoolsfirstfcu.org.